Author's note. Here's the next chapter. Enjoy! Chapter 11. Preparing for prom. The group was sitting under the sakura tree in the schoolyard during break. The school year was nearing an end, so everyone was excited about it. I can't believe that school is almost over this year, Taya said. No joke, we're close to graduating, Joey added. Just barely for you, puppy, Seto said. Hey, I've improved, Joey said. He really has. When we first met, he was a C and D student. Now he's a B and C student, Yami said. See, I've improved a lot, Joey said. Well, Mokuba and I still have 3 years of school left, Serenity said. Don't worry, Serenity. You and Mokuba will be graduating before you know it, Taya said. It'll be boring without the rest of you guys around, Mokuba ayed. Don't worry about it. I'm sure you guys will enjoy your last years of school. After all, there will always be drama where high school is concerned, Tristan said. Yeah, I suppose so, Serenity agreed. The only thing I dread is the exams, Yami said. Why? You always do great on them, Atamu said. I know, but they are always so hard and long, Yami said. Insert penis joke number 56. Well, that would be why they call them exams, Seto said. Why? Is that what the word exam literally translates out to? Yami glared at him. I know that, Seto, Yami said. Yugi smiled. You might want to look at it this way. College is going to be even harder than high school, so you might as well get used to it, Yami, Yugi said. He makes a good point, Atamu said. In any case, I think there's something else that we need to think about, Ryu said. Like what? Bakura asked. The prom, Ryu answered. Oh, hell no, Bakura said. Has Bakura suddenly become black? What? Ryu asked, shocked. There is no way that you are getting me into one of those monkey suits and getting me to come to that thing, Bakura said. But Bakura, Ryu stuttered. No, I do not want to go to that, Bakura said firmly. It's tradition, Bakura. You refused to go with Ryu last year to his junior prom. You can't deny him his senior prom too, Taya said. Yeah, it's the last time you'll get the chance to go, Serenity added. No way, Bakura said, crossing his arms. You know, Bakura, Ryu could decide to just come to the prom without you this time, Heiba said. Well, he can do that, Bakura retorted, crossing his arms over his chest. I thought he'd already done that. You do realize that a lot of those guys who would love the chance to snatch Ryu from you would be there. If you're not there, they could try and get Ryu to dance with them, Yugi said. That caught Bakura's attention. Yeah, you never know what can happen, Heiba said. Fine, I'll go, Bakura said. Ryu's eyes lit up. Thank you, Bakura, Ryu said, hugging his boyfriend. Whatever, Bakura muttered. The group laughed, knowing that Bakura was only going to make sure that no one came onto Ryu. The group continued to talk about different things until it was time to go to class. That was a nice trick that you and Heiba pulled to get Bakura to go with Ryu to the prom, Yami said. Well, everyone deserves a chance to go to their senior prom. Besides, all you have to do is hit Bakura's jealousy streak, and you can get him to do just about anything for Ryu, Yugi said as he got his books out of his locker. That's a good point, Yami agreed. Yugi looked over at his boyfriend. Yami, did we go to the prom last year? Yugi asked. No. The weekend of the prom was a Duel Monsters tournament that we were both in along with Seto and Joey. We went to that instead, Yami said. That does sound like more fun than this, Yugi said. It was. Of course we weren't about to miss our senior prom, Yami said. So, we are going, Yugi said. Unless you don't want to, Yami replied. Nah, I prefer to go to my senior prom, Yugi replied. I thought so, Yami said. Yugi put his books in his bag before the two headed out of the school building since it was the end of the day. We'd better get home since we promised Grandpa we'd help out in the shop today, Yugi said. Right, Yami agreed. The two started to leave. Hey, Yami! Yugi and Yami turned to find Joey running up to them. Where are you two going? We were wanting to talk to you, Joey said. Sorry, Joey, we can't. Yugi and I promised Grandpa that we would help out in the shop after school. We have to head on home, Yami said. No big deal. Seto agreed to let me have a party at the mansion after prom. Just wanted to know if you guys like that idea or not, Joey said. That sounds good to me, Joey, Yugi said. Same here. You can tell the others that we said yes, Yami said. Okay, that's all I needed to know. See ya, Joey said before he ran off. I'm pretty sure that everyone else is going to say yes as well, Yugi said. I'm sure that Seto knows that already, Yami replied as the two left the school building and headed home. Yugi and Yami walked in silence for several moments, though it was a comfortable silence. Yami, what exactly are we going to wear to the prom? Yugi asked. As much as I hate them, I believe that the traditional thing to wear to the prom is a tuxedo, Yami replied. Yugi laughed. You could always deviate from what's normal and wear your leather, Yugi said. Yami chuckled. That's what I wear all the time when we're not at school, Yami said. I know, Yugi said. Well, that is true, but I think that they might draw a bit of attention to myself, Yami said. No girl there would be paying that much attention to their dates. All their eyes would be on you, Yugi said. Yami groaned. Their eyes are always on me anyway at school, and I wear the exact same thing that all the other boys do, Yami said. Well, you do look hot in leather, Yugi said. Yami smirked and wrapped an arm around Yugi's waist. I'm glad that you think that I look hot in them, Yami said. Yugi laughed. It's not hard to. Of course, just about anything you wear you would look hot in, Yugi said. What about naked? Yami asked. Yugi blushed at that. I don't know about that, Yugi said. Yami chuckled. Well, you'll be the first person to find out at some point, Yami said. Even if you break up with me, you'll know. The only one, I assume, Yugi said. Yes, Yami said. He glanced over at Yugi. Although I do wish that Yugi would start wearing his leather again as well. He always looked great in it, Yami thought. Yugi noticed Yami watching him rather intently. Yami, are you okay? Yugi asked. Sorry, just thinking, Yami said. About what? Yugi asked. Do you really want me to wear leather to the prom? Yami asked. Why not? Not everyone would be wearing a tuxedo, Yugi said. Yami smiled. Well, I suppose I could, Yami said. A devious thought then crossed his mind. I'll make a deal with you, Yugi, Yami said. What's that? Yugi asked. I'll wear leather to the prom if you do too, Yami said. But I don't really wear it. I mean, I know I used to, but I haven't since then, Yugi said. I know, but that's the deal, Yami said. I don't know, Yugi said. You don't have to answer right now. You can always think about it, Yami said. Well, I'll think about it, Yugi said. Okay, Yami agreed. He hid a devious smirk. Maybe I'll be able to get Yugi back into his leather this way, Yami thought. Forcing a person to wear something. Truly a heroic act. The two soon arrived at the game shop. Hey, Grandpa, Yugi said. Solomon smiled. Hello, Yugi. Yami, have a good day at school? Solomon asked. Yes, the two boys said. That's good. Go put your things up in your room and come back down to help me, Solomon said. Okay, Yami said. The two went upstairs and put their things in their room before they went back down to the shop to help Solomon. Since the store wasn't busy yet, the three just talked. So, what did happen at school? Solomon asked. Yugi and Haber managed to trick Bakura into going to the prom with Ryu, Yami said. Tricked him? How? Solomon asked, looking at his grandson. Well, Haber and I just made Bakura think that if he wasn't there, other guys might come into Ryu at the prom. Oh, this is just blatant. Yugi said. Played on his sense of jealousy, Solomon said. Is there any better way to get Bakura to do something? Yugi asked. No, and that will work on just about anyone, Solomon said. You think so? Yami asked. Solomon chuckled. Just look at the way you reacted when Tyler would come on to Yugi all the time, Solomon said. Yami knew that he had wanted to either wring Tyler's neck or send him to the Shadow Realm. Okay, I get the point, Yami said. I thought you would. Why don't you two go and get some of the stock out at the back? Solomon said. Sure thing, Grandpa, Yugi said. The two headed back into the storage room to get some of the merchandise. At least he didn't get us to do inventory, Yami said. The day isn't over yet, Yugi replied. The two then went back out and started to restock the shelves. I can't believe we had to do that, Yami said as he flopped down on his bed. Yugi laughed. You jinxed us, Yami, Yugi said. After the shop had closed, Solomon had forced Yugi and Yami to stay to help him take inventory. Still, we could have done that before the shop closed so that we could have been done before now, Yami said. It's not that bad, Yami. We got done, Yugi said. Yeah, but we have to study tonight still, Yami said. And we will. Just don't worry about it, Yugi said. He then realized why Yami was so upset. You're just upset because we might not get the chance to make out tonight, aren't you? Yugi asked. Yami grinned guiltily. Guilty as charged, Yami answered. I thought as much, Yugi said. Come on, Yugi. At night after we study is when we always study, Yami said. I know that line was written at night after we study is when we always study, but I thought putting it in the way I just put it would make more sense. I don't know. I know, Yami. Just because you don't get the chance to make out with me doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, Yugi said. It does to me, Yami said. It's the end of the world as Yami knows it. Yugi shook his head. Well, you might still get the chance, Yugi said. Boys, dinner, Solomon called from downstairs. I doubt it, Yami muttered. Come on, Yugi said. He grabbed Yami by the arm and dragged him up and out of the room. Later, Yami was in his room studying while Yugi was in the bathroom that was connected to his and Yami's room. Yami was at the desk studying. He glanced over at the bathroom. Yugi's been in there a long time, Yami thought. He then returned his attention to studying. A few moments later, Yugi walked out of the bathroom. Hey, Yami, Yugi said. Yeah? Yami said, not looking up. What do you think? Yugi asked. Yami glanced back and dropped his pencil. Yugi was dressed in a pair of tight-fitting leather pants and a tight black tank-top leather shirt. Be careful! Bakura and Malik are going to try and steal it away from you while singing a parody of a Lady Gaga song. Run! He also had on the belts and buckles that went along with it. The clothing showed off Yugi's body very well. Yami was speechless. He hadn't seen Yugi in leather in a while, and he was stunned speechless at the fact that Yugi was wearing the leather. Well? Yugi asked. Yami snapped out of it. Well, I don't know what to say, Yami said. He suddenly turned into Hugh Grant. Wearing leather. Oh, crikey. Yugi had noticed that Yami's eyes hadn't left him. Do you like it? Yugi asked. I always did, Yami said. Because you think I look good in it? Yugi asked. You do look good in it, Yami replied. Yugi laughed. After our conversation earlier, I wondered how you would react to seeing me in leather. I can see what the reaction is now, Yugi said. Yami smirked. I've always loved the way you look in leather, Yami said. He stood up and walked over to Yugi. It shows off your body, Yami said. Yugi blushed at that. Yami chuckled. I still can't believe that I wear this now, Yugi said. Well, I'm at fault for that, Yami said. Why's that? Yugi asked, looking interested. Well, you know that after the ceremonial duel I got my own body along with Atomu, Bakura and Marek, Yami said. I know, we devoted half a chapter to it. Yugi nodded. Well, when we got back to Japan, we had to go shopping for clothes. I saw the leather store and wanted to try it. I ended up liking the clothes. And that's what I started wearing, Yami said. What did Grandpa think? Yugi asked. At first, he wasn't too happy, but he lived with it. After all, it's not like I'm some kind of gangster. After a while, I managed to convince you to at least try it, and I got you into it, Yami said. Oh, Yugi said. Grandpa reacted pretty good to that one, Yami said. Oh, right, this is taking a decidedly creepy turn. That's surprising, Yugi said. You're not the only one who was surprised, Yami replied. He looked at Yugi and said, So, are we wearing leather to the prom? I haven't decided yet. I might try to wear it for a while and then make my decision, Yugi said. Fine by me, Yami said. Seeing the appreciative look in Yami's eyes, Yugi asked, Did you make that deal as a way of getting me back into leather? Maybe, Yami said. Well, it would appear you got your wish, Yugi said. And I'm very happy about that, Yami said. He leaned down and kissed Yugi, which led to a make-out session. I guess I got my wish after all, Yami thought.